In a dramatic and controversial move, President Trump has canceled nearly $5 billion in foreign aid, sending shockwaves through both Washington and the international community. This decision has rattled lawmakers and complicated already tense budget negotiations, raising urgent questions about America's role on the world stage. By using a rarely invoked tool called a pocket rescission, the Trump administration bypassed Congress's traditional authority over federal spending, catching many by surprise. The cuts target a wide range of programs, slashing funds for global development, international organizations, peacekeeping missions, and efforts to promote democracy abroad. The largest single reduction, over $3 billion, directly impacts development assistance for some of the world's most vulnerable nations, threatening critical humanitarian projects and support for impoverished communities. Lawmakers from both parties are furious, calling the move an unprecedented overreach of executive power and a direct threat to Congress's constitutional control over government spending. Senate Appropriations Chair Susan Collins, a key Republican, labeled the maneuver a clear violation of the law and warned of its long-term consequences. Critics warn this sets a dangerous precedent, allowing the White House to sidestep Congress on spending decisions and potentially undermining the balance of power. With legal challenges looming and political tensions rising, the battle over these sweeping foreign aid cuts is just beginning, and the outcome could reshape how America funds its global commitments for years to come. President Trump is pushing to reinstate the death penalty for murder in Washington, D.C., a move that has sparked significant controversy and debate across the nation. This initiative is part of a broader crime crackdown aimed at reducing violent crime rates in the capital. He's framing it as a strong deterrent, citing an executive order directing the Attorney General to pursue capital punishment for severe crimes. The administration believes that reinstating the death penalty will send a clear message to potential offenders. However, D.C. abolished the death penalty in 1981, following a Supreme Court ruling that halted executions nationwide. This historical context adds a layer of complexity to the current administration's efforts. The district's unique legal status complicates the administration's plan, raising questions about federal authority versus local law. The interplay between federal and local jurisdictions is a contentious issue. Legal experts are divided on whether the federal government can override D.C.'s ban. Some argue that federal law should take precedence, while others believe local laws should be respected. The White House hasn't detailed how it will navigate these legal hurdles. The lack of clarity has left many wondering about the feasibility of the plan. The move has reignited debate over capital punishment and federal power in the nation's capital. Protesters and activists have taken to the streets to voice their opposition. For now, the path forward is uncertain. The legal and political battles ahead are likely to be intense and protracted. The administration faces major legal and political obstacles. The outcome of this initiative could have far-reaching implications for the future of capital punishment in the United States. President Trump hosted South Korea's President Lee Jae-myung, reaffirming his commitment to diplomacy on the Korean peninsula. Trump highlighted his ongoing relationship with North Korea's Kim Jong-un, hinting at a possible future meeting. Past summits focused on denuclearization, but progress has stalled. Despite Trump's optimism, North Korea continues missile tests and avoids substantive talks. The administration hopes personal diplomacy can break the deadlock. The world is watching to see if this approach will yield results. For now, the stalemate continues. In a lighter moment, President Trump weighed in on Cracker Barrel's logo controversy, making headlines with his unexpected comments. He urged the company to keep its classic design, emphasizing the importance of tradition and nostalgia. The company quickly announced it would stick with its 1977 logo, crediting public and presidential support for the decision. The episode showcased Trump's willingness to engage in cultural debates that resonate with his base and energize supporters. It was a small but telling example of his populist style, connecting with everyday Americans. The White House took credit for influencing the decision, highlighting its role in the outcome. The story offered a brief break from weightier policy battles and intense political debates. It highlighted how the president uses his platform to shape even minor cultural conversations in the country. This week, President Trump took a series of bold and controversial actions, making headlines on issues ranging from foreign aid and the death penalty to high-stakes diplomacy. His decisions have sent ripples through Washington and beyond, sparking intense debate and scrutiny from both supporters and critics. The proposed foreign aid cuts have ignited a fierce legal showdown, raising fundamental questions about the balance of executive power and congressional authority. Lawmakers and advocacy groups are mobilizing, challenging the administration's ability to redirect funds without legislative approval. Meanwhile, the renewed push for capital punishment in D.C. faces not only steep legal and political resistance but also public protests and heated debate over justice and morality. On the world stage, Trump's personal diplomacy with North Korea remains at a standstill. Despite high-profile meetings and promises, the goal of denuclearization remains elusive, leaving many to question the future of these negotiations. Even his unexpected intervention in a local restaurant logo debate managed to capture national attention, highlighting his unconventional and often unpredictable approach to leadership and public engagement. Each of these moves carries significant implications, not just for policy, but for the broader public debate and the way Americans engage with their government. As Congress returns from recess, lawmakers will be forced to confront these decisions head-on, setting the stage for contentious debates that could reshape the political landscape for months to come. The full impact of these actions is still unfolding, and only time will reveal how they will shape the nation's future and the ongoing story of American politics.